is the 3rd of April, 2023. My name is Sydney Winston. All gods are imaginary. I create atheists. And today is Monday, sentencing day for Justin Downing, who is a convicted rapist. Today is the day we learn his sentence. He is liable for prison, because he's a convict, he's a felon. He's liable for, excuse me, let me just have some coffee. My first sip of the day. Would you like to join me? There's nothing nicer than the first sip of coffee of the day. Please join me. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. I have something to play while we're waiting. I don't know how I'm going to get the news, but I'm expecting either like a phone call or a message or something once the sentencing has been handed down and we know what it is, so we can rejoice, because he's going to know. He's going to go to, what am I trying to say here? Oh, ex nihilo, welcome to the show. This is your Xbox F friend. Just wanted to say hi. Hey, why you change your name? Xbox was so recognizable. Oh, by the way, this room is open if anybody wants to come and join. Let me do the... how do I do this? There we go. I'll just put the I'll put the link in there so that you guys, anybody wants to come and talk about Justin or anything. Hopefully Justin, because he's the guy who's going to prison today. Prison. Correct. Prison. All right. So I just want to play this in the meantime in the background. It's a clip where Justin gets pressed on his belief. So let's listen to that for a while, shall we? If I can find it, I'll actually get it going. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's go.
Necessary property of that ball that it bounces, which means that ball can't exist unless it bounces, right? And you say something like, well, the ball exists and the ball is bouncy. You may be referencing one of the ball's properties, but you agree that when you invoke the concept of the bouncy ball, you're already expressing that it bounces, because the ball couldn't exist without bouncing. You agree, right? Like, that makes sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, so similarly, your concept of God necessarily has the property of time and necessarily changes. That's what you've said. So, when you talk about God changing, when you talk about concepts of time with relation to God, the point is those concepts are already going to be expressed by you simply invoking the concept of God in the first place, much like the red bouncy ball invokes the concept of bouncing, necessarily. It doesn't mean anything to say that the ball doesn't bounce, because then it just doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay,
so in both cases, the point is, in both cases, those statements would be uninformative.
Mm-hmm. So if I was to say that last Tuesday I took that bouncy ball and I bounced it and I threw it at the ground and it bounced off the ground and came back to me, that would still be part of the tautology?
You're just describing an action of the ball.
I'm describing an action of the ball with other substance to it. I mean that this basically reduces everything to a tautology.
No, it doesn't.
No.
You can describe like an action that something takes with necessary
I've
properties.
done multiple times now.
Right, but that's not the criticism. The criticism is that you think you're saying something interesting when you say God changes. Interesting is not the right word there. I should say informative.
Yeah, I was going to say interesting is pretty subjective.
Is there something informative about saying the necessarily bouncy ball bounces?
Yes, because he could have existed with that necessary attribute of time without expressing it.
It doesn't matter if it's expressed or unexpressed.
Well,
The point is if it's a
because
necessary
that's the difference
property.
between whether it's just tautological or not.
Okay, I'm gonna disengage. Good luck.
So,
Okay.
real quick, Khalil, could you summarize Pogan's point real quick?
Yeah, so basically he's saying that when I describe what God does, I'm describing actions of what his necessary attributes are, which isn't really adding anything informative to the substance of the discussion. I'm just basically saying God has these properties and uses these properties.
Okay, so if you understand his point, then where's your disagreement?
The disagreement is when he asks me if it's a necessary property, and I say yes, it is, and I make sure I add the caveat of it. It depends on if it's unexpressed or not, and he says that doesn't matter. And the point of it is that he could exist as the lonely object with the necessary attribute of time unexpressed. Him expressing it is not necessary. He doesn't need to express his necessary attribute of time to exist. So right there, he's going outside of what the tautology would be. He could perform these actions if he did this or if he did that because of these necessary attributes. But now we're going outside of that, talking about contingent actions that God performs,
Hey, EA, what do you
which
take
is outside of the tautology.
If a necessary property is unexpressed, it doesn't cease to be necessary, right?
No, it's still a necessary property, but whether it's used or not,
Then you're
is
agreeing.
contingent.
Then you're agreeing it's a tautology.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. That's actually the point that I was going to make. It doesn't matter whether it's expressed or not. That's still an attribute. It didn't stop being an attribute. His whole point had to do with the attribute of an entity that you're describing.
Well, I would just disagree.
Hold on for a second. But you're
Sure.
offering the fact that there's some sort of area or facet of this entity's attribute, right, that you want to place an emphasis on, which is cool, fine, but that's not pertinent to his actual point at all, because the attribute is still there, whether it's expressed or not. You can think of it like a gene. You still have the gene may not be expressed, but it's still there. So if I say this human has genes, well, all humans have genes. It's not informative.
Yeah, I'm still missing the point of
obviously.
Yeah, because I'm talking to somebody who's not a philosopher about this, and I don't understand what the issue is.
Let's look.
So that's an issue I have with this guy about this philosophy nonsense. Where the hell am I here? Come on, man. So when it comes to the discussion of God, Justin Downing is reducing it to a logical, or a philosophical issue. So if you can either prove or disprove or do whatever you like philosophically, but it doesn't necessarily relate to what is actually happening out there in reality, right? So this is his downfall. He's always bringing up his God argument in the philosophical philosophical arena. Now, if we were to discuss something about the sun, the heat of the sun, the shape of the sun, whatever, anything to do with the sun at all, we never ever go to philosophy for an answer, for a hint. We never do that. It's just plain empiricism, plain science, plain observation, plain what's the word? I can't remember the word. I can't think of the word. I need more coffee. That's why. Um, but I still can't think of the word. So rather than remain in this embarrassing position, I think I'll just let these guys carry on.
The
Are you a
point,
philosopher?
the point
Yes, I'm an
is,
amateur philosopher.
Amateur.
Now let's get
Aren't we all?
disrespectful, Dragnot. Yeah.
Are
I'm an amateur philosopher. I love it. I'm an amateur rocket scientist. I'm an amateur moil. I circumcise babies, but I'm an amateur. What a stupid thing for Justin to say. I'm an amateur philosopher. To say you're an amateur anything is not very. It's not very complimentary to oneself. All right, you want to be a professional, not an amateur.
we all?
the point is this, right? Very simply.
Thanks for my 50 subs when you came on, brother. I appreciated that.
when you're like arguing in a
What
conceptual,
are you doing?
huh?
He's just cloud chasing. This guy doesn't believe shit. He just wants money. That's all he believes in.
Exactly.
Fuck
I
this
agree.
shit.
I want
Very
money.
well may be the
You
case.
want money? Yeah.
Terrible to think. Same thing to say about Dragnot.
Can you substantiate that?
My subs.
Can
I mean,
you
that was
substantiate
that was a
that?
pretty stupid comment you just made at drag. Like that optic.
Yeah.
optically,
Anyways,
that wasn't-
anyways.
wasn't
I
very optically
thank
good.
Drag for something. Can I not be silenced by 15 different non-believers
Thank you.
First of all, I've been a Muslim longer than you've been.
showing me the
So
good
you might
reasons why
wanna
I
take a
left
step back,
atheism?
security here, kind of
You're
thing.
not showing me
So-
exactly why I left atheism.
You no
What?
said
Did you hear that? You're showing me exactly why I left atheism. He's treating atheism like a club. Oh, I'll join this club today. Oh, well, there's people there that don't they won't listen to me when I talk about things that are not real. Oh my God, they won't listen to me. I'm going to go somewhere else. And where does he land up? Islam. From bad to worse.
I thought you said you were convinced.
I would bet $100 you couldn't name my fucking religion if I gave you a
I don't care. I want to know how you know that I want to make money.
Junior. You're a lying sack of shit.
How do
that
you know?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
You live in a
You're a
capitalist society.
No funny.
Hold on, I can't hear this person.
You're a lying sack of shit, and nobody cares
Stop making the claim and substantiate it. I'll wait.
about your philosopho garbage that you're gonna try and appropriate because it makes you sound
No. See, now this is called dodging. I'm asking you how you know that I want to make money. I'll wait.
Look, did you just say that you thanked
Hold on,
drag for
can we
I'm
hold
going to
people
substantiate it.
fire?
Did you just
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that you thanked drag
This.
for 50 subs?
Hey, Tom, is this how you let your group run?
you're a fake
Why
ass.
are you appealing to Tom?
Yeah. All these
You're a fake
fanboys in here.
So as you can tell, Justin's getting the figurative shit kicked out of him in the Discord room there. Contrast that with, say, tonight or tomorrow or during the week or next month or whenever. He really is going to physically have the shit kicked out of him. He might have the life kicked out of him, which I won't miss him personally. I think it would be it would be healthy for the planet if Justin Downing were to be unalived somehow. But I don't know what the chances are. I mean, let's think. He's going to a state prison for 2 to 17 years. We don't know yet. As a tier 3 child rapist. Tier 3 means he's never going to get out of it alive. Here's tier 3 quickly. Tier 3, a high risk of repeat offense and a threat to public safety exists. So that's where he's going to be. That's his lot. And oh, that's clever, isn't it? Or isn't? I've got to move this across over there. I'll move that to there. And how's that? You can see it. No problem. All right. Onwards.
Let's just return to the substance.
No, because I can see that I'm in a group of people that are only just Islamophobic and they just want to start talking shit.
Look, if you don't want to challenge,
I didn't say a single thing about Islam.
You guys can continue to be immoral pieces of crap, and I will take my leave. Have a good day.
I am a Muslim. Okay, you fuck.
You see, what child rapists do? When a child rapist is cornered, you know what he says? He says, "You guys are just attacking Islam. That's it. I'm done." That's what he's just doing here. I hope he doesn't leave.
Fucking
He
piece of
rage
shit,
quit.
fucking
He
baiting
rage
ass
quit.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he sees
Oh,
the fakery with him. There's something up with him.
What culture? Okay, Toast. I'm culturally a Muslim. I grew up Muslim.
Hannah, you know, I guess I should apologize to the guy, because when I said I don't think you're expressing anything informative by invoking a concept of time with God, that comment was actually Islamophobic.
That could have been milked a little further if Squishy didn't ease his giant dick into him so fast.
What was his? Did anyone catch the root cause of when he said?
Wait a minute, Skinny Pete is fucking advocating for milking a lol's cow? Where the
Thank
fuck?
you for that sub, Skinny.
Yeah,
Did
thank you
anyone?
for the 50 subs.
Did anyone catch when he said like why he became Muslim? Was it just he said just because it was consistent?
All other
We can't hear you,
religions.
Squishy.
He said he researched all other positions, all other religions on the planet, and found that Islam is the only one that wasn't contradictory in any way.
Yeah, that's not necessarily true. So when he was running his channel as an atheist and letting people come in and have discussions, in the background, there's 3 or 4 Muslim apologists that were speaking to him. And right, he wouldn't actually, I think at one point he did actually have them on, but there was no real like clash of ideas out in the open. It was them behind closed doors in some group that he runs on Facebook, or partially runs. And then they made a convincing argument to him, right? And if you actually go on his channel, right at like the week after he announces his conversion, he explains all of this to people, because it was a chance conversation that he had where I'm trying to think of the way that he phrases it, that someone with a PhD had conceded to a premise that one of his Muslim brothers had presented, and that was like the watershed moment for him. And I said, well, people agree to premises, to syllogisms all the time, just for arguendo, right? So how is that significant? And he's never answered that question. So someone made a half-decent argument, and that's it.
Why did he come in here claiming that he researched all religions and found the only consistent one to be Islam?
That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. No, I don't know that.
Because he's a fucking liar, and that's exactly what he did say. He's researched them all, and then he did. The one I heard, he's researched them all. He did it, and then he did an internal critique, and the result of the internal critique was that Islam is true or real, and all the others are not. Convenient, huh?
But actually, almost directly, it contradicts what I've heard him say immediately after his deconversion.
That's like the second time in a conversation that I've been involved in, when presented with increasingly like difficult philosophical challenges, he just bottoms out into saying people are being Islamophobic and then leaves.
Yeah, well, that started because when he first started deconverting, he was looking for people who were disagreeing with him and calling him out. There was actually your friendly neighborhood atheist, I think. It said, hey, we're going to interview this guy. You have any questions? And people are like, why did he go to Islam of all things? Like, what the fuck is up with that? But there's like 15 questions that he had to skip in order to find that. And so if you actually go on that thread, it's still on Facebook, he finds every negative comment that people put, and she just whines about it the entire fucking time. He's looking to be offended by shit.
Look, he's not offended. That was just a tap out. That's all he did.
Jesus, I thought Nicholas Suter was fucking bad, Dragnot. What are you giving us here?
Oh no, this guy is. When Hannah told me she was talking to him, I was like, I had to come listen to this because he gives platitudes. He has little idea as to what he's actually talking about, because these guys gave him enough ammunition to sort of like defend himself, I guess. But you see that as you try to explain stuff to him, he can't actually respond with much other than what he's already been told to say, kind of like the Mormons do.
Can we get the channel?
That's why
Is
I
it
messaged
just
you. I'm like, there's no way this guy is like for real. And then you see his avatar, and I'm like, this guy's like literally an American LARPing as like Muslim.
Can we get the channel link?
That's what
His channel?
Yeah, his one. Yeah.
I think he's the EA show. Let me a second.
I didn't get.
Let him make money off of you, and none of you made a cent off of it. You're all sluts.
I didn't get the opportunity to say this before he bailed out of the room.
You're the one that fucked him, Squishy.
But the point is like if you say because he basically conceded it was a tautology. The point there is like if somebody comes along and says, "Well, I don't think God changes. I think God is unchanging. God is eternal. He's atemporal." The point is, like, if it's tautological that he's not going to have a response other than to just beg the question against the person who disagrees, right? But of course, we didn't get that far because when I mentioned something being a tautology, I was in fact being Islamophobic.
Ah. Yeah, you should stop that.
Oh, that's cute. His show was actually, his YouTube channel was the EA show, Satanic Atheist, and then he converted to Muslim, and then now the EA stands for Exploring Arguments. That's cute.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, a lot of people have, because I participated in this at one point, and a lot of us were kind of side-eyeing, like, that's a really interesting transition you made there. He slipped into a fucking warm slipper or some shit like that. Like,
all marketing. It's all marketing. Dude's just trying to make a buck, and he found something that is fucking marketing. You guys are
That's
such.
what some people say.
Did I get this wrong? I wanted to ask you.
You're a bunch of
Did I get this wrong? Was he converted by BHIs?
No, these weren't BHI. These are.
But like the BHI equivalent, like the Muslim.
Yeah, I guess you could say that because a few people that I know have gone in that group that he's in, and especially like women get harassed like bad, like rape threats and all that other kind of shit. And so it's funny for me to hear him complain, "Hey, Tom, get your server under control," when people had gone to him and said, "Hey, your Muslim brothers are threatening my wife with rape, right? You need to control them." And so he doesn't want to talk about that. He said, "Oh, well, I've talked about them. Yeah, some of them are kind of passionate." It's like, no, those are actual rape threats, dude. Are you fucking serious? Like, are you crazy? And so he just like there's something going on with him, and a lot of people don't really know, but some people think he has for money.
Dragnot, you know who this guy's starting to remind me of the more you talk about him is Brett Keane.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember how Brett Keane was an atheist and then he was a theist, always chasing that dollar?
Yeah.
Always chasing that dollar, always begging for that dollar.
That's gorilla.
I guess I was like saying, like, dude, that's like optically that doesn't. When Drag's insulting you, the response isn't thanks for the 50 subs. Like that just makes you look like you're chasing clout. Come on, you dumb fuck.
I mean, I don't really. I think you guys are maybe reading into it a little too much. I mean, he was just like, "Oh yeah, well, like."
Yeah, it was just like a canned, stupid response. But
you dare question my motives? You dare insinuate that I'm in this for money? Squishy, how dare you? By the way, patreon.com/EA.
How do you know anything, Squishy?
Yeah, you can be in
that like philosophical, like, how do you know that? How do you know anything? I'm just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
None of you are philosophers except for me, okay? Fucking take a step back.
Oh, I love that. I was like, hold on.
For me, it wasn't the fact that he did the 50 subs thing, but what ensued after made me think this guy maybe not be a real Islamist was when he just outright called everyone Islamophobes and then sort of backtracked.
This fool said,
like that was what it was for me. Like I don't know.
I'll wait for you to substantiate that. I'll wait.
Like, yeah, what? That's the line he took from me.
I'll wait. Fuck off, dude.
I say that. I mean, like calling people Islamophobes and then backing out. Isn't that like what real Muslims do too?
Yeah, but it was the way that the way that he did it though. It was the way there was no real like offense in his voice. You could you know what it's like, Tom, when someone is sort of like feigning offense and someone is really offended. When someone's a fucking Muslim or someone's a Christian and someone claims that they're not really a Christian or not really a Muslim, they typically get like really, really, really offended. And I didn't hear that in his voice.
Oh, you guys will have to hear one of the first interviews he gave when he's talking to the person interviewing him, saying how he started seeing things differently after his conversion, people looking at him funny, and I'm just like, bro, like, say less, just say less, just come on, you're putting it on, stop it.
Well, I remember after he first converted, and he came on like Discord really briefly, and I have a recording of it. People are asking him like, what convinced you? What made you change your mind? And he would not say. He would not say. You know why? Because he was fucking embarrassed at the time. He had to get the story straight, right? But it was just something simple, like, you know, whatever, just some.
The real story was that he knew he was in deep shit because of his raping of his children. So I would imagine, I don't know what happened in those conversations with the Muslims and Justin Downing, but I gotta imagine something like this. If you know, he would have probably said, you know, I've done some bad things in my life. You know, I've been confused. Whatever his excuses have been, without actually saying what he did, I would imagine that the Muslims that he was hanging out with then would have said to him, listen, if once you become a Muslim, then, you know, everything in your past life is forgiven, and you'll have all the riches and glory of heaven in the life to come, and all this and whatever bullshit that they gave to Justin to make him feel that he's wanted and needed, and he has friends in the Muslim community, despite what he has done to his own community, his own non-Muslim community. He has caused permanent damage, psychological, emotional damage to all of his children, and to his estranged wife and his ex-wife. I don't know how his current girlfriend or concubine, where she stands on this, but she's got to know everything. But as far as I understand, she still supports him. So that's, again, another sort of, you're okay, you're a Muslim, no matter what you've done. It's kind of in the same sort of vein as the Prophet Muhammad was a pedophile. It's okay, it's good because he was the Prophet, and whatever the Prophet does is fine. You're a pedophile, but you're a Muslim, so you kind of have something in common with the Prophet, and they probably elevated him onto a pedestal because of his crimes. Just thinking out loud.
Group he liked or something like that, right? But someone says, "Hey, like
he was appealing to there, right? Like when he said, "Oh, I've run this with other philosophers. They said it was fine." Presumably, he just means his in-group.
Yes.
Yeah, he's specifically talking about what is that guy's name? The Muslim metaphysician. I think that's one guy's name. I can't remember the other guy, but that's one of them. And they I don't know if they actually have any degrees in philosophy or they actually teach it, but they call themselves that online. So I'll find that guy's
Yeah.
page. Give me a second.
Did you know that Alex Malpass has taken presuppositionalism for arguendo's sake before? Checkmate.
Declan, what's going on with Alex commenting on your videos? I saw a couple screenshots.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Has he been commenting? Nice.
Yeah, he commented. It was more of the same though.
And let me guess, he made measured, intelligent responses.
Now he basically responded with a thing that was very.
For fuck's sake, I was muted, and I have to say that I'll start again. Declan Eventide. I used to know this guy when I first met him on the internet as Jacob, and I can't remember his last name, but he was the first time I ever saw him, and the subsequent few times I noticed I was in the same Google room with him. He was called Jacob something or other. He had his full name out there. I just can't remember the last name. And he had his wife and his little child. And he was pushing conservative nationalist Christianity hard. He was pushing it hard at the audience. And he was trying to explain how, God is the most incredible thing, and God this and God that and God the other. And that went on for as long as, for the few weeks or whatever it was that I think it was maybe Google Hangouts stopped and the whole thing came crashing down because nobody could contact each other. But now he's resurfaced as Declan Eventide, and I think I haven't had a chance to ask him, but he seems to be more of an agnostic kind of a thinker now. He's the wife has ditched him. He might have another one by now, I don't know. But the wife ditched him, and like I say, he's more of an agnostic kind of atheistic. He has that kind of an outlook now. And I'd like to find out from him what changed and what the process was, because you go from hardcore Christian like a Darth Dawkins or a Mr. Batman to to questioning Christianity or questioning Christians. So that would be an interesting interview to have. So Declan Eventide, if you're around, if somebody can get the message to you, I would like to have a chat with you. Please.
Very similar to what he originally said.
Right. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
This is why your wife left you, blah, 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 blah. That sort of thing. Part 4 is hot off the presses. If you guys want to listen to it, that's up to.
I've got it queued up as soon as this As soon as this discussion peters out, I'm on that like a dirty shirt. Huh?
All right. I put that one of the guys that convinced him, the Muslim metaphysician. I put the link in general chat so you guys can see who I'm talking about, because he's one of the guys that what's his face defers to all the time. One of like I think 3 or 4.
I also vote yes.
What's his face?
The guy's description: Muslim convert, inviter to Islam, debater, podcaster, blogger, Muslim rapper.
A Muslim rapper. Well, that says it right there.
Who's a Muslim rapper? Oh, the Muslim
in the trap with Allah.
Metaphysicist or whatever.
Be like them Black Hebrew Israelites. Get that verse. Get that verses.
But I remember someone saying, "Hey, like, because he's kind of known because he had a show like the Empathetic Atheist and like the YouTube." And someone was like, "Oh, you know, Matt said that he wanted you to call in this week to Atheist Experience, and he wanted to talk to you." Does he know Matt Drag?
No, he doesn't know Matt. Matt heard about him, so did Arn. But I think he spoke to Arn at one point, but I don't think that he's called into the line. I personally told him to call into the line when I'm there with Matt. He's not done so as far as I'm tracking. But like I said, yeah, I think he did speak to Arn at one point.
Right. So someone told him, "Hey, Matt wants you to call in," and you know, I have this recorded somewhere. If you really want it, I'll get it. But he said, "Oh, why would I want to talk to that idiot?"
Wait, the Muslim guy said that?
Yeah, about Matt.
Wow.
This is Empathetic Atheist?
Formerly.
Yeah, we've been talking about. Okay. Yeah, he was on the other night with JJ. Drug him in here.
Of course, it was JJ.
A while ago.
like 3 in the morning. It was hilarious.
Of course, it was 3 in the morning. Fuck me, dude. Hey, I thought you guys would like this man.
Hey, I'm JJ.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, everyone was okay with it. He was really weird. That guy, that Empathetic. He remembered me being shitty to him at PNR, and I absolutely didn't remember.
Guys like that will remember every time you fucking stuck it to them.
Yeah,
so
weird.
I actually did find so the Muslim metaphysician actually does have a degree. He does have a BA in philosophy. So there's that.
Oh,
yeah.
He's a
He must be
professional philosopher.
smart.
Well,
He's a professional philosopher, not like the rest of you fucking crackerjack philosophers.
It's just weird, these appeals to credentials when like, oh, if they're on my side, then like hand to chin, nodding, and then like when it's like a equal credential in an opposing position, it's like hand wave. Come on, it's like credentials don't mean anything.
Yeah, you see how fast he backed down when I asked him what his credentials were. It's like, oh well, okay, I'm an amateur. Then shut the fuck up. Quit posturing.
Dragged.
Well, I mean, like, none of us really care about the credentials. I mean, we just try to analyze.
But did you get him 50 subs, Tom? Did you get him 50 fucking subs?
Get them subs. Get them subs.
The most competent fucking philosopher in this community is a guy who's like 53 and has a film degree. Okay, trust us when we say credentials.
I don't think Jack has a film degree.
Yeah, he has like a bachelor's in like film something or other from.
I think Malpass is a more competent philosopher than Malpass.
I didn't think he had any degree
than Jack.
Yeah, I don't think he had a degree either.
I think Jack's on the record saying he doesn't have a degree.
I thought Jack Angstreich had some kind of a degree because I am under the impression that Jack is some kind of a lecturer or of some sort at a college or whatever in New York. I could be wrong, but that's the information that's sort of attached to Jack that I have in my head.
I asked him point blank one time, "Do you have like a bachelor's?" And he said, "Yeah, I have like a degree in film."
Bachelor.
He said, "I have a degree in film from like some SUNY school."
SUNY school?
SUNY.
SUNY, yeah.
That's
racist. Queens or Hunter.
Not quite what you thought, huh, Tom?
What's a SUNY school?
Okay.
State of New York.
Jesus.
It's actually it's one of 2 possible Muslim schools. The other is a Shia school.
He's going to film
It's like State
study
University of New York.
Welcome to Film Studies with Wahhabist Wally. Please have a seat.
Welcome to Sharia Islam Film Studies.
Also, did you do that well on a physics test, Mocha?
That's a quiz, but yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. It's nice to finally get some fucking recognition around here.
But did you get 50 subs?
No.
I'd rather.
Who's unmotivated? How dare you? Prove it. How do you know that? How do you know anything?
You know I'm doing this for profit. Explain it to me.
Well, you know what I like to do when they pull this, how do you know anything? You turn around and say, yeah, you're right, I don't know anything, so I guess we can't talk. Fuck off. And then watch them go, I love it. Oh, I love that shit. Just bite the bullet.
They really want to continue the conversation. That's the point of it.
Gus is mean.
I am a mean man. I'm horrible. Ask Dave. Dave will tell you how shitty I am. He's got a list.
How dare you say that man's motivated? Who nobody needs money. Prove that he needs money.
Money is evil. Give it all to me so I can burn it. Yeah.
Like, why do it on Twitch then? If you could just really just stream on YouTube.
Say what you want about Darth Dawkins, but the man consistently refuses money in basically all of its forms.
Hey, I said that.
Yeah, but that's not. The way you're saying that is like, well, when you start off as say what you want about him, but which implies that this is some kind of virtue, which it's fucking not.
But I know it's not because of some like wealth is against God type thing. He's just a fucking asshole and doesn't want to do. You know, like the reason, for instance, he refused a $300.
He's afraid of dogs.
500. Right.
Yeah.
The reason.
You have to supply some sort of personal information to get that money. There's no way around it, and he refuses to do that.
That makes a ton of sense.
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear the beginning.
The amount of information that DD would have to give up to get paid by any of these websites is not. It's too much for him. Basically.
Get it in. I mean, he's a boomer, so he probably doesn't understand how to do it. Get it in Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's too much.
Again, I mean, get it in Bitcoin. The safety of like getting the money isn't the issue, right? Like, there's any number of ways you could get it, like anonymously or whatever. That's not hard. It's just that, look, he don't want to do it because.
All right, that's enough of that. Let's go here. All right, just let me fix that half a face of his. How's that?
Yeah, so I'm a little worried about something. You know, this whole earthquake thing.
Oh,
it's so sad. I've never seen in my 60 years or heard of an earthquake that killed so many people, and it's heartbreaking to see this on the news every night. Why does God do this?
Why does God do what? Who doesn't exist?
Why does he send earthquakes to kill people?
Come on, Justin.
Because that's what he chose to do.
Because that's what he chose to do.
And, you know, is he punishing people?
It's like, you know, there's no difference between Justin's God and some Joe Schmo on the street who's having a bad day and kills somebody because he chose to do it. Well, just like Justin says, God just chose to do it. That's it. Don't question. Well, if a human being chooses to do it, then we shouldn't question, because human beings are made in the image of Justin Downing's imaginary God. Excuse me.
No, in fact, actually, many people are being rewarded.
So, if he chose to do this, as you say, why are we trying to save people from? Are we going against his will by trying to go in there and save people?
No, because his will is for us to try and save people.
If he wants to, if his goal is send down earthquakes to kill 60 people. If that's what his wishes are, why should we go against his wishes and try to save these people who he's trying to destroy?
Because it's his will for us to try and save them.
But he's putting them into jeopardy in the
So
first
isn't it
place.
like a silly game? What kind of game are we playing here? That he's
Why would you call it a game?
Earthquake. Well, he wants to send earthquakes down here, and then he wants to save people from earthquakes. It seems like he either has a weird sense of humor, or he's confused.
Well, but on what basis are you saying that these things are like good or bad, or what?
I'm just saying it from my own reality. So, am I a god? Am I a god? No. But from what I see, doing these things to other people is wrong. And I want to live. I want to live by the golden rule, brother Khalil. I want to treat others like I expect to be treated. So
I find that to
for
be
God
flawed.
to do this, so for God to do this,
Why is
to
it
people,
flawed?
I mean, I wouldn't want to do this to people.
Yeah. The guy said, "I don't want to be treated just like I treat other people," and Justin says, "I find that flawed." Well, I think a rapist would say that. I think a serial child rapist like Justin Downing would say something like that.
Why is he doing it?
So wait. Before we move further, like it's almost like I have to presuppose what your foundation of morality is. What's your foundation of morality?
I think it's subjective.
Okay, so why is your opinion better than mine?
It's not. It's subjective. So you may have, so if your opinion is that earthquakes are good, that's fine. But I would ask you why you think it's good to kill so many people.
Well, what do you mean kill?
Well, 60,000 people died.
Correct. Can people die without being killed?
Can people die without? Yeah, people could die of natural causes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay? So within your worldview, is an earthquake a natural thing?
It seems like a natural cause that God could stop if he wanted to.
If he wanted to, yeah, absolutely. But just because he doesn't want to, does that mean that he killed people, or is that people died due to a natural?
I don't know. Maybe he's lazy, or maybe he's busy doing other stuff. I don't know what the answer to that question is.
Yeah, but it's not really answering my question, though. These people that died in this earthquake, you started off by saying that God killed these people. I'm just trying to find out what the justification for that statement is.
Well, if God's intent was to send an earthquake to destroy 60,000 people, then I think it was his intent to kill these people. I don't think his intent was for them to naturally die by old age. I think he wanted them to die by suffering in an earthquake.
And if that's go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, isn't the intent of creating anything finite? The purpose that it's going to eventually die. So by the logic,
I think I want to add here that this this recording is from February the 15th of 2023 this year, so just a few short months ago. At this stage in his in the case that he's facing in the rape case, he knew everything that was going down. He knew that he knew he was guilty. All he wanted to try and do was to find mitigating circumstances in the law to stop him from being punished for what he actually really did. And that was rape in the 3rd degree of his own child. Can you imagine a young boy who trusts Justin Downing and gets sexually assaulted by Justin Downing and then goes and tells his mother? I mean, that whole, just that scene is heartrending, because it just like that, life for everybody is changed. and not in a good way. That's why I resent this man.
The point is that you're saying that God intends to. I mean, if you want to use the word kill, then technically all creation is created with the intention of being killed. But here's the whole thing I want to switch it. What if the thing I feel like I have a problem with is this here, is that we're making an assumption about what God's intention is. What if it be that those 60,000 people that die, that God is now going to grant them the death of martyrs and they go into paradise? Is that death better for them?
Oh, okay. So I guess it's a good thing that this earthquake happened. Is that what you're saying?
It may be. I mean, I don't know.
Well then let's celebrate. Right? Let's celebrate this earthquake because now they're all martyrs and they're in paradise.
Alhamdulillah.
We should really be sad. Is that what you're saying?
No, so I don't believe in the celebration of death itself because it's still a natural emotion that we face. But the question is, or the statement is that, do we know what the outcome is in entirety? Do we know that what God intended was actually evil or bad or something to be wrong or worse off for those individuals? It could be that there's a better scenario for them. For example, when a child needs to get a surgery and is in excruciating pain, and a parent authorizes the child to go through an excruciating surgery and process for the betterment of that child, do we say that parent wants to cause harm and has evil desires to the child? We wouldn't make an assumption.
You're right. But there's no supernatural being involved in that decision. That's a decision made by parents, and they're trying to make the best decision possible. A supernatural being who Brother Khalil, I believe, thinks is all powerful and all knowing and all good, has the choice to send earthquakes.
Well, I would disagree, right? The supernatural being could have made a child perfectly healthy without any ailment, protected it from any harm, right? So there's always a supernatural element here. We believe that things are ordained by God, right? So
I don't. You do, but that's fine. You do. I don't.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I guess from our position is that, I think that the whole premise, the problem though, is that we're trying to assume what God intended by allowing this to happen.
Right.
And if you have the assumption that it's a negative thing, then you're only going to see negative.
Right. So we're assuming, based on our own reality, that killing people is wrong, and that we wouldn't want to do that. I mean,
We're back to killing people now.
Okay, I'm sorry. If I was sending earthquakes, and as a result of those earthquakes, 60,000 people died, I would feel bad about doing that. I would feel remorseful, and I wouldn't be celebrating that they're now martyrs. I would feel bad that I unalived them.
Yeah,
and that's because limited in your purview.
But the thing is that he just made the statement. This is his opinion, and there's no reason why his opinion is better than mine. So, I mean, other than thank you for your opinion, what should we respond with?
Right. So the fact is that your opinion apparently is that this was a good thing, and that earthquakes unaliving people, 60,000, is a good thing because these 60,000 people are now martyrs. So that is your opinion. I have a different opinion.
No, I don't know. Just a clarification. I'm not saying it is. I can't say definitively. I'm saying it's a possibility, right?
Yeah, it could be good.
For me, it may not be all a negative thing. I'm saying I don't claim to know what God intended to do.
So you're not upset. So you're not upset about the. You're not upset about it.
Sure. I can be upset as a human being that they're suffering, but again, I can. For example, the same reason I can be upset with my child that is born with an ailment, but then have to go through some treatment. But at the same time.
Well, I hope we all feel bad about this earthquake. I hope it's just not me.
I understand, but that doesn't really address what I just said. I can't wait for the day that you actually come up and have a logical.
Hello, Lori. Yeah, I was muted for a while. I fucked that up. Sorry. I tried to recover. I don't know if I did. Apologies one more time.
Discussion with us.
Okay, I'll work on that. I'll try to improve on my arguments. And
well, you don't need to improve. I could provide you logical arguments for the existence of God, and then you could show me the logical objections to those arguments.
There are no logical arguments for the existence of God because God itself is a species specious and vacuous concept. Concept is fine, but translating it into reality is impossible, because God is impossible, because God is non-existent, because the whole thing about, outside of the cosmos there's a mind that's floating around there with no body. It's just getting childish and repetitive and uninformative. Wish they'd stop.
And I would make a bold statement right now that you're not going to have any objections.
You may be right, but I will do my best. And I like listening to you, Brother Khalil. Mm-hmm. So I have all respect for you. And I'm just worried about earthquakes. That's all. I want people to live.
Okay.
Does our discussion of earthquakes stop earthquakes?
I'm sorry?
Does our discussion of earthquakes stop earthquakes?
Does a discussion of earthquakes stop earthquakes? I guess you could pray to your God and ask him. I don't know if you could have a discussion with your God and ask him to stop it. I don't see how that could happen, but I guess your God could do it if you asked him.
He could, but is he gonna? We don't know.
Yeah, he might be busy. A lot of times, there's a lot of people praying for parking spots at the mall, and he's probably working on that. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure why you would be making all these statements about what God is doing when you don't even believe that he exists.
I'm just, yeah, you're right. I'm just guessing. It's pure conjecture.
Yeah. So are you willing to have that discussion tonight or right now, or do you want to do that at another time?
Is this the one where you ask all the questions about the universe being conscious and independent, and it takes 20 minutes, and then somehow the person says, okay, I guess you're right, there's really a God out there? If it is, I think that I'd rather not go through that exercise, because in the end, ultimately, if you're going to prove that a supernatural is real, you need observation.
Okay, what is supernatural? How do you define that?
Yeah, I guess something that's not natural. But I know
what's natural?
How you operate, and I love how you do it. You get people in corners by saying stuff, but in the end, you guys are going to say there's a mind behind all of what's out there. And to be honest with you, I've never seen a mind that didn't have a body. So based on
the black swan fallacy, go ahead.
Based on just deductive reasoning, that if I can't see a body with a mind,
mm-hmm.
then I don't think there's a mind out there.
You know what I don't understand about the black swan fallacy is that I heard it first from Gary Mill, and he goes like this. He says, if all I see over a period of time are white swans and nothing else, can I make the presumption that all swans are white? And then all swans are white until you come across a black one. But what if all you see are white swans, and then you see a black swan, so you say, oh, well, there's black and white swans, so not all swans are white, some of them are black. But what if there's brown swans? What if there's pink swans? We just haven't seen them. So you can't say that all swans are either white or black. You've seen the white ones and you've seen the black ones. You haven't seen the pink ones and the brown ones and the green ones. So I've never understood that argument. I've never understood that argument at all.
Wait. You said deductive reasoning, so I was just waiting for a syllogism that logically follows.
Well, it was that I see minds that have bodies.
So you see minds, Rory?
The God you believe in.
Rory, do you see minds?
The God behind all this that you believe in has a mind.
These are really stupid conversations. God has a mind.
Yeah, hold on. Let me try something a little different, Rory.
God is a mind.
Truth exists.
Okay, there's another thing where this truth exists. Does truth exist? That's a stupid question. Because truth is not a noun that you can say, all right, there's truth, and I'm going to put it on this table, and you can all see it. And now truth is going to get up and go for a walk. So the whole question of truth existing it's just it's like it kind of just throws you off. They're trying to deviate from the actual line of questioning that is being presented.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, my wife hates when I argue with religion on TikTok. Okay. So,
they're on TikTok?
Do I believe truth exists?
Yes.
I do.
Is truth a physical or conceptual thing?
Is truth a physical or conceptual thing? It's definitely not. It's definitely not a physical thing, and it's definitely not a conceptual thing. Again, a false dichotomy.
I guess truth is it physical or conceptual? I would say it's conceptual, I guess.
Okay, perfect. Are concepts mental things?
Concepts, mental things. I would say yes.
Okay, and are mental things grounded in minds?
Or mental things, I would say yes.
Okay, perfect. So remember that we agreed to all of those things, even if we have to write them down, that we agreed that truth exists.
Can I ask one question here?
Sure.
After that last question you said, I'll ask you, have you ever seen a mind that didn't have a body?
I've never seen a mind, period, because minds aren't like material things.
Okay, so
that's a silly
would you say that a mind is part of the human experience?
I would say that the mind is one of the components of a soul.
Okay, is that...
The mind is one of the components of a soul. All right, so I just learned right now that the soul isn't just one thing. The soul is made up of parts. One part being the mind. I wonder if he's going to fill in the blanks, what the rest of the parts are.
Would that be part of a person's makeup?
I would say it's part of the person.
Organisms have mind.
Yeah,
it's part of the person.
Yeah,
Do people have bodies?
Yeah. Hold on, but I get this. So you're going to say that minds necessitate brains, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that minds necessitate bodies.
Okay, and minds. Is there a mind without a brain?
I would say, is there a mind without a brain?
Obviously.
I would say you need a. I would say you need a brain.
Okay.
To have a mind.
Perfect.
You also need a body.
Okay, so let's go back to, for example, the singularity, right, at the Big Bang. Prior to it expanding, was the singularity the singularity?
I don't think we really know what happened prior to the Big Bang.
I didn't say prior to the Big Bang. I said at the Big Bang. So we have a singularity, and that has not expanded yet, and that would be Planck time, right? So we can go back to Planck time. So there's a singularity. Is that singularity a singularity?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe that A equals A, or the singularity is a singularity, would be the substantiation of the law, the first law of logic, which is identity?
Yes.
Okay. Is identity a necessary truth? that applies to all things that exist?
I'll say.
See, these are stupid questions.
Is identity a necessary truth?
Gets them nowhere.
Identity is a necessary truth. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so this necessary truth existed at the Big Bang, correct?
The necessary truth exists. Okay.
Okay, so is truth okay? So now we have a truth existing at the singularity. Were there any bodies or brains or organisms back then?
No.
Okay. So we don't have any brains or organisms or anything, but we have truth existing at that very moment. And you've agreed with me that truth is a conceptual thing, and that concepts are mental things, and that mental things are grounded in minds. So for there to be a truth, there would need to be a mind to ground that conceptual thing, that which is a truth. And there's no bodies or brains or anything that exist back then.
Okay, so I disagree with.
Okay, I just want to update you on what I've done in terms of trying to find the latest on Justin Downing's sentencing. I've texted a contact that I have who's in the courtroom, but I suspect that they have turned the phone off, because when you're in a courtroom, you probably have to turn your phone off. So we'll just carry on and we'll wait.
So I think the concept of truth is really a human construct, right? It's based on our ability to.
So then you don't believe that it was true back then?
So the truth is a human construct, right? So the Big Bang, let's see.
Did we discover truth or did we create truth?
The question of whether truth existed at the Big Bang may not be meaningful or even relevant. So
It's very relevant.
At the moment of the Big Bang, the universe was just a state of heat and density,
Mhm.
and the laws of physics, as we understand them, didn't even exist. So
Yeah, I'm not pertaining to the laws of physics.
Truth, it's a human construct.
I'm not pertaining to the law of physics. So far, everything you've said right now is not even relevant to the argument that I'm making or the conclusion that it comes to. So do you believe that we discovered truth, or truth started to exist because humans created it?
Say that again?
Did we discover truth or create it?
I think truth was developed over time.
Okay,
as a way of describing the relationship between what we believe and
Okay.
what's actually.
So prior to human beings, nothing was true. Because to have truth, you need human beings to be able to develop it, right?
Well, that's interesting.
Truth is emerging, right?
Well, that's a good way to put it. I would say that truth is a human construct, right? But the underlying principles that make up the concept have existed prior to human beings.
Okay, so the concept existed prior to human beings.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
the laws of nature existed since the beginning of the universe.
Okay.
They can be said to be objectively.
Hold on. Let's stop right there. You said concepts existed prior to human beings. Are concepts mental things?
Concepts are mental things.
We've already agreed on that, right?
Yeah. I to human beings, truth as a concept didn't exist, but I think the underlying principles.
I think that the questioner has dug himself a bit of a hole, and that is why Justin and that other guy who's on the screen is having a bit of a laugh. But again, it's about, they're arguing about truth. The guy who's asking questions, he should never have said, truth is, X or truth is Y. Because truth is just something that's a result of, taking all the evidence and putting it all together and extracting the true sequence of events. That's what it is. It's not something that exists outside of backup evidence. Just saying.
Laws that make up the universe did exist.
Are these laws concepts?
And they can be said to be objectively true.
Are these laws concepts?
Are these laws concepts?
Yeah. Are they physical or conceptual?
I think the concept of the concept of truth is not the only way that humans can describe the world, right? So
I'm not talking about a description. I'm just asking if truth existed prior to human beings, or if we created truth.
Stupid question.
I don't know. I think the concept of truth is a human construct.
Okay, the laws of logic, are these things concepts?
The laws of logic concepts. Yeah, I guess they are. Yeah.
Okay, and did these concepts exist at the Big Bang?
Did the concepts of what?
The three classical laws of logic: identity, non-contradiction, and excluded middle. To say that the singularity was a singularity, that it wasn't something other than itself simultaneously, and that it's true that it was what it was.
Okay. The laws of did they exist at the time? Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think is most reasonable to believe?
Of what? Give me the options again.
Yeah, well, either the singularity held to these concepts, which are the necessary truths or the laws of logic, or it wasn't true that the singularity was a singularity.
I would say, I think as we understand them, whether or not the laws of logic existed at the Big Bang, it's probably just a philosophical debate. I mean, there's probably philosophers and scientists that argue about the laws of these principles and whether or not they existed since the beginning of time. I don't know.
Yeah, there's tons of people that argue about a lot of stuff. I'm just asking you what you think is reasonable.
Yeah, I think there's people who argue that it's an emergent property, like you said, that, but.
Okay, that one stopped. We can just go on to the next one. 4 minutes.
Like all the premises and conclusion.
There's different ways that you can argue it, but the way that I argue it is I first established that there are contingent things. Like, it's empty, but this right here, this Pepsid Complete, which is basically like an acid reflux medication.
Yeah.
So this bottle is contingent, meaning that it has a red top, but it could have a blue top. It could be a little bit larger, a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger in diameter. There's many different things about this that could be a different way.
Why does that make it, just like to play devil's, so just because I want to really go through all of it, just understand all of it. So it being a different color, size, shape, whatever, how does that make that contingent?
Sure. So a contingent thing is something that could be another way, could be different from the way that it is. And that's just philosophically the definition of what a contingent thing is. And that when it could be another way, that there's some type of external explanation for how and why it exists the way that it does, even though it could be different.
Okay, so then what's the second premises after that?
Okay, so if we can say contingent things exist, if we were to take all contingent things that are in existence and put them into a group or put them into a set, that set would be the set of all contingent things. So everything that's contingent would exist within this set. Now the question is the set itself something that's contingent? Now you could figure that out by asking the question, could the set have one more or one less contingent thing in it, or could it be organized in a different fashion, or could it be somehow, some way different than the way that it is?
Okay.
And if it could be, that means it could be another way, which means that even the set of all contingent things is contingent itself, which means that there would need to be something external to be the explanation for the set of all contingent things. Now, the beauty of this argument is that I could even grant you that there's an infinite number of contingent things that exist within this set. And it would still be the set of all contingent things, still requiring some type of external explanation.
Wait, but sorry, again, not that I really know what I'm talking about, but definitionally, if something's infinite, does it not imply that it doesn't have a cause to begin with, or it doesn't depend on something in a sense?
Well, no, you could have something that is infinite that still depends on something else. For example, this is an analogy that I like to bring up a lot, is that if there is like a pillow just existing, right, and it's always existed, the pillow is never began to exist, and there's a bowling ball that's sitting on top of the pillow, and that bowling ball never began to exist. There is an indentation with that bowling ball sitting on top of the pillow. There's an indentation that exists within that pillow and bowling ball, right? That indentation, if it has always existed, the pillow and bowling ball have always existed in the same position, that indentation would also be something that exists eternally. But yet, we could still say that if it wasn't for the bowling ball sitting on top of the pillow, then the indentation wouldn't exist eternally. So it's something that exists eternally, but still has an explanation on why it exists.
Absolute bullshit. Excuse me. I'm gonna sneeze. But absolute bullshit. An indentation exists without the bowling ball and without the guy has no clue. He's so stupid he deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life.
Okay.
And I think that ended that one because the guy really is dumb shit. All right, let me see what else I can find. I have messages out. Just so you know, I have messages out to those who are let me just stop that. To all those who are in the courtroom. Oh, let me invite people. Just hold on a sec. Oops. Learn to type. And then I'm gonna give the room. The room always got to copy. There we go. Okay, let me see what else we can show you. Here's another reaction that I did. Or was it him? It's too long. It's always good to have tunes in the background, eh? Actually, it's fine. let me ask. All right, I think I've got something lined up here. Let me improve it. I think we got it. Should we switch? Okay, let's switch. Do you want to continue and listen to this man embarrass himself? Well, I don't care what you want. Actually, I do care what you want, and I know you want to listen to Kelly Lula. And because I'm taking the mickey, you want to listen to Kelly Lula? Kelly Lula. I present Caligula. Kelly Lula. Okay, so Kelly Lula. Take it away, Kelly Lula. That's how he starts.
Why does that make it true, though?
Because all of the other ones showed to be incoherent and logically contradictory.
What does that have to do with the religion itself, though?
It doesn't. It has to do with logic and.
So what he's saying is that all the other religions are contradictory and illogical, but Islam is the only one that doesn't have any contradictions, etc.
Reason and holding the most reasonable.
So why would you choose a religion based on logic and reason? The whole point of religion is that you have blind faith in something.
Yeah, but that's not my belief. So I mean, you can attack somebody else's, but if you want to talk about mine, then you're gonna have to get with the program.
Get with what program exactly?
Logic and reason.
I have both of those.
Okay, cool. So then we should have a fun time.
Okay, so why exactly do you believe in, what is it? Islamic? I forgot what it's called.
Wow.
Islam.
Yeah,
I know that's where it's.
He's thinking about the word Allah.
No, doesn't that mean God in your language?
Yeah, that's God.
Why do you praise Allah?
Why do I praise Allah? Because he is the.
That doesn't tell me why you praise him. You're saying what
I didn't even answer the question yet.
You said he. You say he is.
I literally said
automatically tells me you're not going to give me an answer.
So if you're not interested in talking and interested in staying in
no, go ahead. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna give me a description on him, then I'm not.
You're gonna be.
See, there he goes. He's being very Christian and Darth Dawkins-esque in his approach. Look at him. Look at him. He thinks he knows everything. Quite a smug little bastard, eh? What a smug little prick.
Shout in a minute. Yeah, I know. He's gonna completely overtalk me when I'm giving him coherent answers.
Okay, we're gonna challenge the coherent answers. Okay, remember he said coherent answers. Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, I think I entertain myself the most. Oh shit! What have I done? Oh, there goes the fireworks. It's Halloween.
So I could already tell he's a bull in a china shop. He doesn't want to have a decent conversation.
Okay, so now he's already at home. He's already setting this guy up as an enemy. Which is more Christian than it is Islamic, in my opinion.
But that's fine. I can play that game too. So the reason why I believe is because, or you asked me why I believe in Allah, because Allah is the causal principle, the necessary being in a contingent world that has intelligence and that used his free will to choose to actualize the universe in which we live in.
Oh, and how could you possibly know that, Justin? Nobody on this planet ever has been able to transcend the natural and connect with the supposed supernatural ever. And once you've connected, then you have to download or you have to absorb information from this supernatural dimension. And now here you come and you're preaching what obviously isn't true. Nothing that you can back up or provide any receipts for. Nothing. All you do is you motor mouth. You motor mouth your way through these little debates and talks by spewing Islamic word salad. Islamo-Christian word salad is what I mean.
Did you hear that? Allah does it. Now, when you speak to Dawkins,
I have a message.
Jesus does it. When you speak to J-Dubs, it's Yahweh does it. Now, this guy says Allah does it. All right. He's digging himself a really deep hole here. I hope he's tall enough to clamber out of it.
From someone who's actually in the courtroom right now. They say, I will call you later in court now. Oops. Damn, such a stupid light off. Can you see? It's impossible. Anyway, that says I will call you later in court now. So he hasn't been sentenced, it's still ongoing. So we'll just wait. Okay? This is the place to be for up to the minute news on the sentencing day of child rapist, pedophile Justin Downing of Cincinnati, Ohio. Oh yeah, it's coming up.
How do you know that?
Exactly.
I don't know that.
He doesn't know that. So then, how do you make a claim if you don't believe in the claim? That is the most, okay. Anyway, maybe I'm not. Maybe the content or the context is beyond me or below me or above me. I don't know.
Why do you suspect that?
Because I'm convinced of it. Can we choose what we're?
Okay, so he's convinced of it. Now he's going to ask, can we? Okay, good. I think this is really. This guy's digging himself a huge. He's got a really, really big shovel, so the hole's going to be big and deep.
We're convinced
But
of.
why?
Can be? I don't know why. Can we choose what we're convinced of?
Well then,
see, again, can you choose what we're convinced of? That's an incoherent question. Of course you can choose what you're convinced of, because that's what critical thinking is all about. And I think we're about to find out that this guy, Kalilula, doesn't have any of that.
I think so, but I mean,
So if I'm convinced of it, huh?
You're praising a god that you don't know why you're praising him.
No,
So
I
you're
never
just
said
praising
that.
him.
I never said that. Don't straw man me.
Kind of what you're.
That's not what I said. And I'm literally recording this right now, so I could post this online.
Why does you record like I?
Okay, so he's recording this and making a total idiot of himself, and then he puts it up on his own channel. Oh well.
Don't care if you record this.
Good, good. So just make sure you're representing me properly, because we can go back and I can make a complete fool of you after.
See? Very Christian-like, very Darth Dawkins. I can make a complete fool of you. That is insulting. That is not Islam. He's wearing Islamic headgear and trying a Islamic look, but he's still a fucking Christian.
Words. So make sure you got make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's.
Don't know exactly
what that means.
I know what it means. But
Okay.
It's out of context. It's irrelevant.
What I'm asking you is, you told me the reason that you like Allah, but why
No,
do you think that he did that? Why do you think he did those things? Like, do you have proof that he did those things you're speaking of?
I never said that he did anything yet. I said he's the causal principle of the universe.
You said he used his.
I didn't say that he did anything. He's the causal principle of the universe. Okay, causing something, last I checked, was actually doing something. I never did anything. He just caused something. So he never did anything. He just caused something to happen, which is the same. It's viciously circular.
Okay, so he used his free will to create the universe. Yeah. Do you want to know why I think those things? Is that what you're trying to ask?
That's what I've been asking this whole time.
I mean, you could just ask that question instead of.
That's what I asked.
That's not, like I said, I have this recording.
I literally asked, why do you?
That's fine. That's fine. You can suspect that you said that. We can go forward from there. So I start off with studying epistemology. Do you believe that we can have beliefs without empirical evidence?
Not necessarily, but.
Okay. Okay, so do you believe that you are you and not something else?
No.
Yes.
Okay, what's your demonstrable evidence for that?
What do you mean?
I'm asking for demonstrable evidence on
You're
how
asking
you know.
me why I'm me.
Yeah, why you hold the law of identity.
I don't know, because I was born into this world. When I was born, I was given an identity.
Yeah, so when you were born, you were given an identity. How do you know that you are you and not something else?
That's a stupid question.
Because I am a human, and humans aren't stupid enough to not know what they are.
You're already begging the question because you started it off with I, so you're already presupposing that you are you. How do you know before presupposing that you are you with demonstrable evidence?
What the fuck stupid question is that? How do you know that you are you? Tell me something, Kali Lula. I hope you respond to this video, but how the fuck can you ask a question to which you yourself know that there is no answer to, or the answer is irrational or incoherent? See? You're twisting in the wind, buddy.
I'm so confused with you. You're asking me why I'm me.
Philosophy and epistemology.
You're asking me why I'm me.
Yeah, no, I asked you how you know you are you with demonstrable evidence alone.
Okay, I'll send you a picture. How's that? Will that prove that I am? Hey, I'll go on a video call with you in real time, and I'll talk to you face to face with cameras on. Will that prove to you that we are we, and I am I, and you are you?
That'll work.
All this crap, huh? Hey, rabbit hole.
As I can think, therefore I am.
You just started with the word I. That's begging the question. You're starting with your conclusion.
You see, interrupting, over talking, not letting the guy make his point. You pointing out his fault and how he's not answering questions. He's not making statements correctly. This is how arrogant this guy is. He's going to teach the person he's talking to how to answer questions. You don't answer questions with an I, because now you're presupposing whatever. I just Kali Lula, why don't you finish your point?
In your reasoning.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is some crazy shit,
I'm starting with
bro.
the claim.
You see? What the fuck? I agree. and this guy Kali Lula put this up on his own channel.
Claiming that I am me.
Bro,
You're so stupid.
Just some backstory. I was a hard atheist.
I don't care what your backstory is.
5 months ago, I was a hard atheist.
You will listen to my story that I was a hard atheist. Holy shit. Shut up and listen to my story. Crazy.
Atheist YouTuber. Okay? So I know how this works. I know how stupid religious people can be. So I'm going to bring you something else that you've never.
There is absolutely no way that Justin Downing was a hard atheist. There's no way. Because once you're a hard atheist, you don't change. That's it. Because your brute fact is staring you in the face. And there's no ignoring a brute fact. And the brute fact is that naturalism exists and nothing else. A brute fact is energy. Energy is infinite and eternal, always existed. Brute fact, nothing before energy, because energy is eternal. Simple. But idiots, like people who have been brainwashed into the religious cults, into the Christian, Muslim, and Jewish cults, have no clue. Their minds are not functional. They're not highly functional. They're functional at a very basic level.
No, but what is it? What is it though?
What is what?
Give me hard evidence that you are an atheist.
I don't need to give you hard evidence. I don't believe.
I don't need to give you hard evidence that I am a.
Well, this is where you just back into your safe space. This is what atheists do.
I'm just saying that this argument is pointless.
Yeah, no.
You're asking me why I'm me.
He just said he was a hard atheist, and now he says you're just backing into your safe space. That's what atheists do. I don't think this guy was ever an atheist. I think he was born a Christian. He still is a Christian. He argues like a Christian. He makes stupid, irrational, incoherent statements like a Christian. He's a Christian.
What?
I'll wait. Let me know when you're done.
Law of logic, law of identity.
No, it's not the law of logic. The classical law of logic consists of the law of identity, non-contradiction, and excluded middle. I'm asking Scythe specifically.
You're arguing that I'm not me.
What I'm doing is I'm showing you that you can hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence. I know you're not getting.
I never said that you couldn't.
You literally said. I got it recorded.
I said.
Can you?
Okay, forget about it. Let me go through these laws of logic with you one at a time. I'm doing it specifically for you, Kali Lula, just to make sure that we're on the same page. Right. So, number one, first law of logic. The law of identity. A is A. Everything is the same as itself. Laws of logic. Number two. The law of non-contradiction. Not, open bracket, A, and not A, close bracket. Nothing can both exist and not exist at the same time and in the same respect, or no statement is both true and false. The laws of logic. Law number three, the law of excluded middle. Either, open bracket, A, or not A, close bracket. Something either exists or does not exist, or every statement is either true or false. Okay? Now we brought the law of identity into the mainstream here, into the conversation that, or should I say the monologue that this guy is screaming at his opponent, and let's see how well he understands his law of identity, which I think is what he's going to emphasize.
You hold reasonable beliefs. I said specifically.
Instead of getting ahead of yourself.
I said specifically, can you hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence? And you said no.
Scythe, honestly, you're stepping in about 2 decent-sized landmines.
Okay. Maybe I said that.
Do we want to change that? I'd be more than happy. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I do believe that it is possible to make a belief without empirical evidence, but I myself probably, when it comes to religion, I do not like to
think that's fine. We're not talking about religion right now. We're just simply talking about epistemology.
Okay, can you explain to me how you know you are you? Because that'll give me an understanding. Because I
presuppose the law of identity as an axiom, because I have no way to reason to it.
Let me help you out, Scythe. Just grant that you don't know it and see where the conversation goes.
Exactly. I'm confused what he's even asking me. I don't know. How do I know I'm me? What kind of question is
that? How do you know you're you and not something else? It's a pretty simple question. I mean, but just.
Hey, look, how do I not know I'm me and I'm not something else? Because if I was something else, I'm pretty sure I would know. Because
No, you wouldn't exist. You wouldn't exist. No, you wouldn't exist because you would be a true contradiction, and true contradictions don't actualize in reality. Are you lost?
I'm just not going to talk to you. I'm confused.
Okay.
You're asking me something that doesn't make any sense.
No, actually, Ethernet, am I making sense right now?
Yeah, no, I know.
No, you're not.
See exactly what you're saying is totally. The one thing I do have a question about, the last thing you said is, under the standard laws of logic, nothing can exist that's contradictory, right?
Yeah, for me, that's a starting investigatory point to where if something is logically contradictory internally, then I automatically dismiss it from existing.
And how are you able to come to that conclusion without using logic?
I presuppose logic.
With logic.
Can you answer?
What do you mean with logic? No, there is nothing to. Okay, so let me give you guys a rundown of what an axiom is. An axiom is a belief that you hold without reason.
Let me give you a rundown of what an axiom is, okay? I'm going to do just that. My axioms are, number one, all gods are imaginary, right? That's an axiom. You can't argue with me about that. Number two, human evolution is proven by science. Again, something you can't argue with me over. Those are axioms. Now, what axioms is Kalilula going to attempt to pretend are axioms?
Reasoning to it. There's literally no way to reason to it, so I can't use reason.
Yeah, logical reasoning.
No, yeah, but I don't use. Hold on, Scythe. You already said that you were drowning in the ocean right now when it comes to this stuff. Let me talk to Ilmatic. You already said you had no clue what we were talking about, so just sit back and listen.
No, it's not that. I'm just confused on what you're asking me.
Okay, so I was asking you if you were you and also not you. Are you a contradiction?
Okay, here's the thing. I don't care about what's going on. Somebody called a mod.
Well, it was Illmatic. It was me. I was getting a little crazy in here, wondering if you wanted to just if you had time to step in and just kind of make sure everything goes smooth.
Yeah, what's going on? He's rambling on about something that has nothing to do with what I fucking asked.
Ethernet.
No, he's not.
Thank you.
Why he's rambling, and I'm confused on how this.
Sometimes people think others are rambling when they don't even understand what they're talking about.
Oh God! Yeah. Start that. Don't start fucking insulting people's intelligence.
He literally said that he had no clue what the conversation was about. So I'm not insulting.
I literally said I don't know what you're asking me. I never said I didn't know what you guys.
So specifically, what I was asking you, Scythe, is if you can hold rational beliefs without empirical evidence.
I'll be back. Call me if you need me.
Okay.
Okay. So, Khalil, can I call you Khalil?
Absolutely.
When you presuppose the laws of logic, are you talking about the language or the patterns that the laws describe?
I'm talking about everything within the law of logic in its entirety.
So the language, the conceptual component of it, and the thing it describes.
Well, no, not the thing that it describes. Well, the thing that it's describing is outside of the law itself. The law is just expressed upon the subject.
I got you. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, so I was simply just asking you. I went down this route because when I did ask you, can you hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence, you said no. Now I understand that you did say that you would rephrase and change your mind on that, and I'm totally cool with that.
Why wouldn't he need empirical evidence? I need empirical evidence. Everybody's watching here who needs empirical evidence. So empirical evidence actually is pretty fucking important on the one hand, and on the other hand, I just want to mention that the room is open, so we can discuss this crazy Christian, if you like. But well, if you don't like, it's okay. But I am opening up the room. I just want to let you know. And here is the join information. Carry on, Kalilula. He's only got a few more minutes and then he's done.
We can hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence because there are things that we must presuppose, like the laws of logic, like cause.
We have to presuppose the laws of logic. So those are axioms, okay? That's what he's saying. When you presuppose something, they're axioms. So if you're going to presuppose the laws of logic, you're not going to find God.
What else? There's other things that every human being must
You see? What else? There's other things that human beings must presuppose, but I'm not sure I can think of any.
Suppose universally at a fundamental level, because we literally have no way to prove it.
We literally have no way to prove it, so we're going to presuppose it?
Or demonstrate it, or even provide an argument for it without begging the question and using the conclusion within the premises.
Nonsense.
Yeah, so the first two questions that... Oh, sorry, I'll let you go after I just put this in, but first two questions he asked you, your answers to, I mean, honestly, they were big landmines, and they really didn't need to be answered that way, but you're free to work through that and just proceed. I'm kind of interested to hear where this goes.
Really confused on why and what he was asking me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we went from talking about your religion, Khalil, to completely turning the subject.
Well, no, you asked me why I believe in my God, so I figured I'd start off when I was an atheist and go through all of the steps that got me to Allah. Are you interested in that?
No. No one's interested in that. That's funny. All right, so, yeah. This is definitely worth talking about because this is crazy stuff. This is the kind of nonsense that theists send our way. And you got to find it funny. Otherwise, it's pretty pathetic. So, for anybody who's just joined, today is Monday, April the 3rd, 2023, the day of sentencing the day of sentencing for Justin Downing for child rape involving his own children. So the whole deal here is to see how much time he's going to get. He is going to be getting a minimum of 2 to 8 years and a maximum of 17 years. It's just a matter of what it's going to be. What you don't know if you've just joined is that I have been contacted. I reached out to somebody that I knew was going to be in court because we've been in touch, somebody very close to Justin, and who absolutely hates the guy for what he potentially could have done or did do. Anyway, she's in court, and there obviously is no sentencing as of yet, but I will get a call once the sentencing has come down. And then I guess it's public at that time, right? So I'd like to know what you guys think. Hold on, I've got to just change a couple of things around because no, that wasn't what I wanted.
I'm just trying to decide what to do here. Yeah, alright. I don't have to do anything there. Right, so where's the chat room? I seem to have mislaid the chat room. So since I have returned, I see that Hellion is here. Hello, Hellion. How are you today? Let's see. It's 10:30 in Ohio, and his sentencing hearing was scheduled for 8:30. That's right. I started shortly after 8:30. Because you know I if he's going to be sentenced at 8:30, then at 8:31 we should all know what his sentence is, right? According to my thinking, of course. You know, the German in me. But yeah. Hellion, we don't know. We do know that it was more than one child. I take the let's see. I can exercise for just so things don't get confused, that when I say, you know, mankind, I mean all of womankind as well. When I say man does this and man does that, I mean I include women as well. Okay, so, and when I say stepchildren, I include the male and the female in the with using the same logic. So, and when I say child, instead of using the word child, I'd rather use a gender. I say male, and when I say male, I include males and females, but I'm using male because it's the accepted protocol in the vernacular these days. So, Justin Downing raped his stepsons and sexually molested his stepsons. Now, when I say sons, I mean daughters as well. Okay? And when I say children, I mean sons and daughters as well. So, really the same thing. Oh, I'm just ducky. I'm just waiting for, anxiously, I might add, as you might tell because I'm fidgeting around, anxiously awaiting the completion of the brewing of the coffee pot that I have on. Because I've been waiting for this day forever. I played, I think it was yesterday or the day before, or just the day before, I can't remember. But I played a meet room like this one, where Justin and I were the only ones in there, and we were having a confrontation where he was still in denial. He was still in denial of his crimes that he was indicted for, and he was challenging me at every single spot. But I already knew that he was a child rapist, and nothing he said in defense of himself stuck. Just ran off me. It just, ran right down my back like a water off a duck's back. And it's become quite prophetic, I think. We'll find out. We'll find out soon. Now, what I'm trying to do, as I'm talking away here, is I'm trying to bring the chat in. So just give me one moment. I am caffeine level challenged at this moment. So, please forgive me my lethargicness. My lethargy, sorry. Oops. I wonder if there's a god of grammar up there who's just doomed me to the hell of doomed me to grammar hell. Okay, what am I looking for here? Let's get on it. Right. I think I got it. Ow. Just give me 2 seconds here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you can see it. Let's have a look. Can you see it? Let me test it for you. Yeah, there you go. So what I'm going to do quickly is just scroll up as much as I... Ooh, that's as much as I can scroll. Oh, I see. I think it cuts it off after 30... It gives you the last 30 minutes. That's about it. Right, so if you don't want to come into the room and talk, which is fine, then we can talk through the text. You can ask me questions, or I could ask you questions, but I really don't know how many people. Hold on, how many people are actually watching? Oh, I got 5. There's 5. That's a quorum, ladies and gentlemen. The meeting shall start. Does anybody have any opening statements? Oh, whoops. From 5 it went down to 3 drastically, so maybe we won't be doing that. What I was doing was not very popular. Oh, look at my doggy. My dog has not had breakfast. So while we wait, yes, Hellion, exactly. It's bothered me too how he's convinced Muslims it's religious persecution, and he's a repeat offender. Yes, he's a domestic violence. He's a oh, I got to take this pill for my dog and split it in 2 manually. Without breaking it into crumbs, you know what I mean? As long as they're 2 solid pieces, I don't care. Once I'm done. So that's the big, huge sort of technical challenge of the day every morning when I have to break that particular pill apart. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go grab more coffee. I'm going to feed my dog, and none of that should take very long. So I would like to see the room just take off and explode with action. Comments. You know what I mean? Today's the day to let it all out about how you feel about Justin Downing and maybe even why. Let me leave that there. Yeah. So, all right, goodbye. See you later. But be quick, or keep in, or listen or something, because what I'm doing is waiting for a phone call from somebody who's in the courtroom, who I've been in touch with for a while, and who has updated me with all the facts of all the cases. So when I see Justin Downing in denial and, like you say, religious persecution because I'm a Muslim, he's the excuse to his Muslim buddies. When I see all that come to an end, I lost track, sorry. Because my mind is on coffee and my mind is on feeding my little doggy. Would you like to see my little doggy? Let me go see if she'd like to be introduced. Hold on a moment. Okay, here we go. This is my doggy. This is Jenny, and about a week ago, she turned 13. Look in the camera and say hello to the world. This is the way you can connect to every other dog in the world, Jenny. Anyway, I'm gonna go and feed her, okay? Of course you will. Okay. I think I'm sorted. Caffeine. How many of you guys are actually not in denial about being a caffeine addict? Sure, you can go for a whole morning without coffee. Sure, you can. You can probably go a whole day and night without coffee. But at some point, because every morning is a coffee adventure. Without the coffee, there's no morning adventure. So you can give up your coffee for a little bit, but if you want adventure, caffeine is the way. That's good. So yeah, we're still waiting. What happened to the music? Did I stop it? It says it's still playing. Something happened and I did stop it. So you know what? I'm going to keep it stopped right now. Again, we are right at 11:29 a.m. Cincinnati, Ohio time. The sentencing for Justin Downing began at 8:30, so 3 hours later. That's my dog telling me she wants to go play with her buddy across the corridor, who is a cat. I think a male cat, so I think there's something between them. Every morning and every opportunity, either my dog goes to the cat or the cat comes here. I have an arrangement with my neighbor across the corridor with the animals. It works well. See, cats arrived. Hello. Who's here? Okay, hold on a sec. Hello, Tommy. Hello, buddy. If he jumps up, I'll show you. I'll try. So I don't know how long we have to wait, but waiting without anything to keep you kind of interested and occupied is boring. So I'm going to see if we can find something. Is there anything else you guys would like to see? Because I'm focused on Justin Downing, I'm kind of just putting all his stuff. Oh, look, here's something we can just listen to because it's really just, yeah, it's really just, audio. So maybe I'll throw this up. Now, this is when Justin Downing was supposedly an atheist. I personally had not encountered Justin Downing at that point. When I encountered Justin Downing, he was Muslim Justin Downing, and that's how I knew him from the very beginning of my contact with him. So then I found this audio clip from the time he supposedly was an atheist, and he is it's entitled "The Problem with Faith." Let me just fix that. The problem with faith. Justin, what did you call him? Yeah, Justin Downing, The Problem with Faith.
Hey, what's going on, my fellow atheists and atheist-friendly people? It's been a while, actually, since...
All right, so I just want to... because I'm an idiot, I just spoke through that introduction. So here is Justin Downing saying, fellow atheists, my brethren, fellow atheists and atheist-friendly people or whatever. This is how fake he is. I challenged him, Justin Downing. I challenged him and said, I 100% do not believe that you were ever an atheist, like you claim. Like, and in this clip, he is claiming to be a hard atheist. I've always thought of him to be fake, as he's proven to be.
Atheists and atheist-friendly people. It's been a while, actually, since I did my last episode. I had a lot going on. Had to go down for some training down in Arkansas for the job that I have.
Had some raping of my children to do while I was, had some free time.
Sick. This whole coronavirus thing that's been sparking up. Just been taking care of a lot of stuff. So sorry I haven't made an episode in a while, but I'm ready to get back at it and get going. Yeah, to touch on this whole coronavirus thing real quick, I don't really know how to take it. Is it serious? Is it not serious? Is this something that the media is just overplaying? I mean, if you look at, the history, every time there's a presidential election, there's some kind of virus or disease or something that's going on. I mean, you also look at, the reason why this is broken out. And I mean, I don't specifically have a reason at all. I'm not going to jump to any conspiracy theories or anything like that, but I mean, if you think about it, there was a bunch of protesting going on out in China, and all of a sudden this virus shows up, and now the streets are clear. Too many things to put together. Don't want to come up with any conclusions because obviously I'm not an expert and I'm all about skepticism. I don't have any answers for you guys. Just stay safe, wash your hands, do the regular things that you need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen inside of your house, or at least try and help it. So today we're going to be going over a big issue within the realms of talking to theists and talking to atheists, having these fruitful conversations. And that is a 5-letter word called faith. So faith has a lot of...
All right, so here's Justin railing against faith. Faith is a stupid... Well, let him... Justin, explain it.
Different definitions for it. I mean, when you think of what is faith, it could mean so many different things. People use it in so many different ways within their life, whether you're religious or not. And I'm actually going to dive into a little bit about what each of these mean, how we can use them, the issues with some of these definitions, and what I believe faith is, my definition and my take on faith, and ways that you can try and tear down an argument once you've already brought it down to that you have to take it by faith measure, either at the very beginning or towards the end of the argument. A lot of times you'll get, well, you just have to take it on faith, or it all starts with faith. I find that as a huge problem. And we're going to be going into...
Yeah, I'm trying to set his volume so that he can... Because sometimes it's... I'm loud enough, but the clip is not, so I'm trying to figure out, if anybody can let me know, is he loud enough?
Why that's a problem. So first thing we need to do whenever we're talking to somebody that boils down to faith, we need to ask them what they mean by faith. How do they define faith? There's one where there's not really too much confusion when you're talking about it, and it's, what's your faith? Are you the Christian faith? Or are you the Muslim faith? Everybody's pretty much on the same page when it comes to that. They don't have to, explain why they think they're the Christian faith or the Mormon faith. I mean, that's used as a belief, and that's...
Okay, so that is he's putting Muslim faith and Christian faith and just faith all in the same box. He's a hard atheist, and he's putting all the faith cults into sort of one set, one what's the right word? Do you notice I get stuck on words? You know why that is? It's because English is my first language. What was that word again? I forget. Good way to segue out of it.
What actually in the dictionary it says there's a couple different definitions for it, but the first definition is a belief. That's what it boils down to, is a belief in the dictionary.
That's faith. According to Justin Downing, hard atheist, faith is just a belief.
Dictionary, which I'm not going to argue with. If you want to go ahead and say that you are part of the Christian faith, I understand what you mean. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong.
Well, why would you? Why would you interfere? I mean, nobody's wrong, right? They're only wrong when they force it upon me. Like you being right now, Justin, you being a Muslim, you're fucking wrong, because what you're trying to do is force it upon me. Fuck you. I can't wait to see the reaction of your Muslim friends, especially Isadawa, when the sentencing comes down, which, I might add, what's the time there? They're 22 noon. So there'll be a break. There'll be a break, I would imagine, in 20 minutes, 12. I'll break 12 till 1, right? So hopefully during the break, I'll get the call and get the update. But in the meantime, hard atheist Justin Downing is giving us a lecture on the problem with faith, which is just a belief, and so on.
But that's not the only way that we use faith. So we can push that one to the side, saying, "Hey, we already gotten that one pretty notched up when it comes to understanding what people mean when they say they have faith in that type of manner." A lot of people will go to the second definition, having like trust.
All right, update. Hold on a second. There's the news, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Justin Downing has been sentenced to 12 years in prison for raping his own children. Yeah, I better say thank you. All right. 12 years in prison, ladies and gentlemen. I think I got the scoop. It's 8:42 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 11:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Justin Downing has been sentenced to 12 years in prison for raping his own children. I think that's not enough. But then again, it's not my call. 12 years. Justin Downing is sentenced to 12 years in prison for raping his own children. Is there anyone in the chat who has any response? Anyone? I want to get this on the screen quickly. All right, now I'm confused. Now I've confused myself. Oh, there it is. I confused myself, but then Von Helton's gods unconfused me. So I really have to say thank you. With much gratitude to Von Helton's gods. Oh, right. So let's go back there. Put that there. And oops. I'm confusing myself again. Silly me. I'm just so excited. It says I'm actually just processing the whole thing. So he must be have been taken away in handcuffs today to prison. Oh, there we go. There we go. What's going on here? What is going on? Oh, I don't want that. Hellion, welcome back. Okay, hold on, let me go. Christ brings a sword. Hello. Welcome, and the Uncarved Block. Hi, guys. And Hellion, welcome back. His most current wife just posted it on her Facebook. I saw it first before coming back on here. Cool. I don't know her Facebook about... well, her most current wife, his most current wife is Jasmine, because he hasn't divorced her yet. So, who are you referring to? Let me see if I can find myself again. There we go. All right. We are back. Medina Morgan, yeah, that must be his concubine. Like I say, he's estranged from Jasmine, but not divorced from Jasmine. 12 years. Oh, it was Jasmine? 12 years rotten hell. Okay, I'm confused about the wives. I'm sorry. Who blocked who? I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Why does a guy like Christ brings a sword? I mean, we understand where you're coming from, dude, but why would you say praise the Lord Jesus Christ? What does that mean? I can tell you one thing about your Lord Jesus Christ is a myth. So I don't to praise a myth is something that is very personal and a little bit strange. But you do you, dude. Ah, so Medina is his current concubine. And Jasmine is his legal wife. Correct. At least as far as I know. Oh, Justin's mod blocked me in chat. Are you talking about YouTube chat? Is just Justin's channel? Is Justin's channel live or something? What's going on? Fill me in. Well, that's wonderful, Hellion. That's great. Would anybody like to come into this room and join me for the chat and actually talk instead of did you know that according to my screen right now, if you look at my screen right now, right over there, you will read that Alan is a myth. I'm just wondering if that's a topic we could put on the table for further discussion, because Alan is a myth, is a claim made out of ignorance. The fact that the name Alan exists means that Alan is an individual, right? So I just don't understand what all that is about. Oh, Allah is a myth. Oh, okay. I got it. Sorry, I got it wrong. Okay, so I am going to be getting a phone call later on. And I need to catch up and see. Oh, yeah. I got a picture for you. So hold on a sec. I need to. Actually, I just need to open it. Give me one moment to figure this out. I've got something for you to see. Give me a sec. It's so silent. Ah. I have something for you. Let me set it up nicely. Nicely. I bet you this is a scoop. Hey Hellion, when you see this. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Boom, 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 boom. Hold on, what am I doing? Justin Downing sentenced to 12 years in prison for raping his own children. Justin Downing been taken away in handcuffs. There he is. Handcuffs, Justin, jail, 12 years. And it seems that one of the victims actually gave a victim statement. And the contents of the victim statement were so horrific that it brought tears to even the prison staff, even the law enforcement people. There you go, baby. Take it away. Take him away. Take him away to jail. Let's see if I can make this one. There we go. That might be a better one. There we go. Justin Downing in handcuffs. See you in 12 years, Justin. And to learn that his victim, one of the victims, at least the one that he's being sentenced to jail, to prison for, is right now only 16. And I think that the child who was on the stand today giving a victim statement actually went through the stages of what he did to her in front of everybody, and that's what sent the people into tears. Justin Downing's in big trouble. 12 years of prison. Minimum of 12 years in prison. Did you hear that? You heard that, right, in the phone call. A minimum of 12 years in prison. I'm still trying to digest it all myself, to be honest with you. Wow. Hellion, I'd certainly have an email if you're still there, because I've been kind of zombieing out for a couple of minutes trying to process this. Anyway, yeah, I have an email. I'll put it in the chat. There you go. That's my authentic email. Medina Morgan is the channel that I'm looking for, right? He wrote it in. Oh, no, you didn't. No, I don't see anything. Maybe it was way up and I can't reach it. So I want to check. Yeah, I want to check that out, and I want to check out the EA Dawa. I want to see what if they're running anything. Why did I switch the music off? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're asking me? Well, I don't know the answer to that, but I can tell you that I can get it re-going. Re-going. EA. Dawa. All right. EA Dawa. He last went live 1 month ago, and his last video was 1 month ago. So his channel's obviously not going to have too much, unless somebody else has control of his passwords and stuff. Nobody else is going to have a lot to say, or that channel's not going to have a lot to say. Now, Issa Dawa's channel, the enabler, the pedophile enabler, that Justin and Issa had a show together. His last video was 2 months ago, and his last live show was 3 months ago. And these people used to be on every day, a long time, and then it just stopped. So he's been silenced, Issa Dawa. Thank goodness. Because we don't want people like him in my neighborhood. No. All right, let's have that email. Thanks for the email. I'm just going to go grab it. Ah, interesting. What's that one? Oh, I see. So she 12 years rot in hell. Love it. Okay, I'm not going to show you that, but I went to the Facebook of Jasmine, and I saw that she posted 12 years rot in hell, and I gave a heart. Instead of a like, I gave a heart. Well done. Oh man, that poor woman. I feel sorry for her, I really do. Well. So I'm kind of a little down, really. Not so much because I'm just down because of what the kids have to go through, and had to go through, and will be going through, and the families around them, generally. It's just a depressing, heavy situation. I'm not even all that happy that Justin Downing got such a light sentence for a guy who's 30 and he's going to be in jail for 12 years. He comes out when he's, early to mid 40s. He should be in jail for life. And I hope that the justice system is set up so that Justin Downing accumulates demerits and breaks protocol of the jail and gets the shit kicked out of him and has a miserable time every second of every day in prison. I don't think that Justin Downing should ever emerge from prison. He played too strong a hand to save himself. And I think he's gotten off very lightly. I think the American judicial system has given Justin Downing a break, and that's unfair. I'm not happy about that at all. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm going to be on as soon as I hear some new news. I'll be back up and sharing it with you all, okay? Be safe, everybody.
show. How are you?
I am very well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Well, very well. Jasmine and Riley both said a statement in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Every single person, I'm not kidding you, Sydney, in the courtroom, when Riley was talking, every single person in that courtroom was crying.
Oh, fuck.
Even the other prisoners that were waiting to be seen by the judge was crying. Yeah.
The other prisoners were crying?
Yes.
Wow, that is so sad. I'm sorry to actually hear that.
Yeah. I mean, it was bad. Like, even the people behind us that were, like, sitting in the seats behind us
Yeah.
that were waiting for the judge,
Yeah.
the one guy got up and walked out of the room and was wiping his face with tears.
Is this because of because the actual crimes were read out by the judge and they all hit home?
Riley spoke at what he did to her.
Oh, oh my God, that is I have no words for that. So the victim actually
He got 12 years in jail.
12 years in jail.
Yep.
Starting when?
He got 1 year under the maximum sentence. The judge gave him 12.
What was the
max.
Excuse me?
13 was the maximum sentence. He got 12 out of 13. However, if he shows no remorse, which right now he is not, and they told the judge that too, that he has showed no remorse or anything, if that continues to happen, he could serve up to 16 years.
Oh, so when does his prison sentence begin?
Right now.
Was he handcuffed in front of you and taken out?
Yes.
What a sight that must have been. What was his face? What was the look on his face?
I've got a picture of it. Do you want it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely.
I took pictures of it.
Yeah. I have a chat room open if you want to come in and talk, but if not,
okay. I can't right now because I have my grandkids with me. I'm actually going up to pick them up lunch.
Right.
I'm getting pizza, so but yeah, I can send it to you. Just it did not come from me.
It didn't come from you?
I'm legally allowed to do that, but I did.
Oh, okay, okay. I will. I'll protect my my source.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you can send it to me. That'll be fine.
Okay. I have a picture of them on his hand.
Okay. Lovely. I'm looking very forward to receiving that one and having a nice look. All right.
Yeah, he can do up to 16 years, but even when he gets out, he's 5 years on probation.
Yeah.
If he screws up with those 5 years, they can send him back for 4.
He's screwed, isn't he?
Then also, not just with that, he has to register as a resident-free sex offender for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Was he dressed up in Muslim garb or just regular prison garb?
He had regular clothes on, but he had a hat on his head.
One of those Muslim hats?
Yep.
Well, I wonder how many friends. Excuse me.
Michelle Costa.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I can go ahead. I'll send you what I got.
All right.
But yeah, he definitely will do the minimum of 12. I mean, he has to do 12 years, and he gave it to him consecutively.
Oh, beautiful! I bet you the crowd erupted in
Hold on,
applause.
I'm going to send it to you right now.
All right. Well,
I gotta wait for a pizza. It's not done yet.
oh, okay. And then you got things to do?
Yeah, I was talking like, what are we doing? Because we're sitting over here on the side. We're not, like, in line for the pizza.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not ready yet. There's one.
So pictures are coming. I've got a question for you. If Justin Downing is sentenced to 12 years in prison, does he only have to serve half his sentence before he gets out, like 6 years?
No. He has to serve 12 years.
He's done for 12 years, and we won't hear from him for 12 years.
Right.
Wow.
Riley will be 28 years old when he gets out of jail.
He'll be what?
Riley, the little girl that he abused,
Yeah.
she'll be 28 years old when he gets out
When
of
he
jail.
gets out of jail, wow. 28. She'll be the girl will be 28, the little victim.
She'll be 28 years old, yep.
How many victims were there in total that you suspect?
The ones we suspect, 2 girls, and then showing boys, stuff that they should be seen.
So 2 girls and showing boys a CP or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not adult content.
Yes.
And all this came out in public open court.
Not for the other 2, no.
Oh, because yeah.
Because
So
that was in Washington.
I gotta, you know what's been on my mind is that he was on count 5. He was initially indicted for child rape,
Right.
and he pled that.
Off the table for the plea deal, so that he would do the plea deal. They took it off the table, and the only reason why they did the plea deal, honestly, was so that Riley didn't have to testify. She did get to talk in open court, but she didn't have to be bombarded by his lawyers.
Ah, okay, yeah,
And ask all these questions that are just not appropriate
right.
to ask a child. So, yeah. But Riley was 12 when this started. She's 16 now.
And in 12 years, oh, I see what you're saying. Wow, that's just.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, if he would have got indicted on her being 12, more than likely, he would have spent life in prison. He would have got out. He could have got life in prison.
and he. Well, he's been in denial. I haven't heard him once say anything about it other than deny and question. He'll try and gaslight. Every time I've asked him a question, and we've been on a couple of times about this. And the one thing he said, the one thing he asked me, which I thought was very, very weird. He said to me, "Could I be wrong?" He asked me, "Could you be wrong about me?" And of course I said, "No, I can't be wrong." And then he said something about, "And you call yourself a skeptic?" You know what I mean? Like he's a real snake in the grass.
Yeah. But yeah, he's actually in jail now. So, I will try to give you a call later. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the kids.
Okay. So there you have it, folks. 12 years. Oh, hold on a sec. I lost my earphones. All right, I'm going to go to the... I am going to go to